Alright, sound good. Audio works, which is a good thing. It's good to hear voices. Anyways, back with Blackberry Honey. Played this once before. It's up on YouTube. If you want to go see it. I think we just finished off the first day, canonically, in the game. Not much happened, I'm fairly certain. Here we are. Let's see. Okay. Alright, I guess that's that then. Let's see. Okay, I guess we'll start then. Welcome, everyone. We'll start the maid story. Several weeks passed and Arena had been trying to avoid Lady Constance as much as possible. If you don't remember what happened before, the lady is a bit of a bitch, to be totally honest. She's like that high and mighty tsundere in all anime. So just imagine that. So that's kind of what she's like. But not unlike the cutesy kind of way, she's just kind of a bitch. And also before we had our first interaction with the maid as well. Lady Constance has always been petty and vindictive, but she seems even more so as of late. And Lorena didn't want to get caught up in her silly temper tantrums. And Lady Constance wasn't the only one Lorena had been skirting around. Like I said before, this is what was her name again? Like Tihor, something like that. I can't remember. The other maid with the black hair. I remember. Yeah. There was also the parlour maid, or whatever her name was before. Yeah, Tao Hia, I think. Her name was Tao Hia. That's at least how I'm going to say it. Don't know if that's correct. So, maybe it's racist for saying that. Not that Lorena wanted to remember it. She'd far rather forget her. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I always like to wait till the text stopped moving. If you're wondering why there's gaps in between the sentences. Lorena didn't want to remember how Tao Hia's fingers had trailed gently across her palm, or the soft whisper of her voice, or the strangely intoxicating scent of orange peel. And what's that? Bergamot? Is that sort of like alcohol, maybe? That clung. Oh no, maybe that clung to her hair, the skin and hair. Bergamot. It sounds familiar, but not sure what it is exactly. And she certainly didn't want to remember withering. What's that? Withering? Stare. Or mischievous tone. Alright. Fair enough. Just real horny. Yeah, real fast. Oh yes. Black and white. Oh yes, this is what happened before if you forgotten or weren't here. Look what happened to you. So I guess whenever a flashback shows up, they're gonna have like a black and white filter over it all. What you let happen. Look what happened to you. What you let happen. So that was a little flashback. Just notice there isn't any music right now, it's a bit ominous. How stuck up? Like you're so perfect. Lorena Lorena gritted her teeth together so hard. The enamel? Was that it? Enamel? Yeah. The enamel threatened to crack and turn over in her bed. The springs of her mattress creaked. That sure was a creak. I don't even know if the video picked that up. The icy air nipped Lorena's fingers and toes, making them twitch. As per usual, her blanket offered no warmth. Oh. Andamant. Andamant. Could it really be? God, this fucking bitch's name. How'd you say her name? God damn it, I'm terrible with names. Lizioletta? I'm gonna say that different every single time it shows up. Who curled on her side, arms wrapped about her pillow. Her long, flexible hair spilled across her bed. Some of it trailed onto the floorboards, Rapunzel-like. She was dreaming about the Alps again. Of course she was. Wet dream about him. She was always dreaming about the Alps. At least something that never changed. Some things I can read. Lorena watched her. Picked out... I need to figure out her name. Loretti's? Delicate features in the dark. Her pale eyelashes. Her snub nose. Her pursed lips, her long, long hair. Lorena could imagine the children of Adamant brushing... Oh, for fuck's sake. It's like a grammar test. Loretti's hair for her. Then threading it through with flowers, orchards, violets, and delicate purple. Fuck's sake. Primrose. I know what the flower, but saying it's just a different story. Primules? I'll just say. I know what the word is, but saying it's just a different story. Like something from a fairy tale. Loretti really did look like a princess. The other maids, meanwhile, were slightly less flattering in their slumber. Paulina snorted. Isabel shifted. Petulantly? Relentless. Elfie had a tendency to lay so silent and still, like some kind of wax effigy. Lorena always feared she had died. Jesus. Ada, meanwhile. That young maid had weak lungs. Her soft, gentle snores cracked and hissy. Her breathing was laboured during the day, but it was even worse at night. It sounded less than a young girl, than an old man. Does that make any sense? She sounded less like a young woman. Yeah, why are you saying woman? She sounded less like a young girl than an old man. Well, whatever, it's good enough. Lorena often felt sorry for Ada, walk up every single flight of stairs, often enough to make her double over, gasping for air that her lungs seemed determined to reject. Damn, this girl's gonna die. Jesus, why is she here? How has she died already? This poor girl. It could always be worse, Lorena mused. She could be Ada. Jesus, it's brutal. This girl does not give a shit. At least she wasn't Ada. I mean, she's the most ugliest girl in the story. She has asthma. Jesus. Tauhia didn't sleep in the same Dortently attic room. Which was the term the Virgin Quarters, which was termed the Virgin Quarters, that I unpleasantly Tauhia was unique. Worlds apart from the plain, boring English maid of Blee, or European in Lorentzens? Oh, I'm just giving up with her name. Tauhia skin was a touch darker, her irises strikingly green. Okay. Her hair was black and silky. A rare flower surrounded by weeds. Damn, what a way to describe it. I mean, she's not that good looking, is she? I mean, we have seen her, but still. She was too special to mix up with the other maids, too important to befriend them, too aloof even to try. They should keep on calling her aloof. Oh hey, it's the princess. She might just be called Rapunzel from now, because I cannot be bothered to say her name. Ah, madame, papa, Daisy too. I missed you so. Sorry, Tis, but you ain't home no more. Okay, I guess she just chucked her word and now she's gone again. We've gone back to monologue. Tauhia was graceful and composed, while Lorena was awkward and flustered easily. Lorena couldn't imagine Tauhia ever allowing Lady Constance to boss her around. But that didn't mean she couldn't treat Lorena so poorly. That she could treat. Right. Tauhia had handled Lorena carefully, like she was some kind of precious instrument. Yet she had insulted her at the same time. It was confusing. God, this fucking bitch again. Andamant. It has been years, and yet... What kind of name was Tauhia anyway? Lorena had never heard it before. She couldn't understand it either. It's like Chinese? Sounds like Chinese or some sort of Asian name, I think. It's like the Hia at the end, which makes you think Chinese. If you couldn't understand the name, how on earth could she ever hope to understand the woman attached to it? Lorena didn't want to understand her. She hated her, didn't she? Lorena bit down on her lower lip and turned over once more. She didn't care how tangled her hair got. She turned again and again, but no matter how she tired, she couldn't get comfortable. Just when her eyelids were starting to feel heavy, she could almost imagine herself slipping into a layer of slumber. I never wish to leave. I cannot. This is where I belong. This bitch, can she piss her? Jesus. Like as I said before, I'm gonna call Lorenz to her, like Princess from now on, because I can't be bothered. Chose that moment to declare, rather loudly, for a sleep talker, a continued allegiance to a beloved Andamant. Lorena's left eye twitched. Fine, fine, fine. I'm getting up. Oh, Adamant! Shut up. Lorena sat up, her hair in disheveled mess, and glared at Princess. Even in her sleep, Princess looked perfect. Her face glowed with health. Her flanks hair was full of life. Maybe it was because of Adamant. If Lorena had been born amongst the mountains and had spent her youth picking flowers and milking cows, perhaps her cheeks would have permented roses too. Then again, maybe not. Love, you're pretty enough as you are, Chris. Calm it down. Lorena sighed and massaged her temple with her finger. She needed to talk to somebody, but who? Everyone was asleep. Then in that case, a letter. Yes, that seemed like a sensible solution. Lorena missed her mother. She missed her a good deal. She missed her sisters too. Ethel and Mary. She even missed little Alice, who had been only 2 years old last time Lorena had set eyes on her. She'll be 5 now. Wow, it's been 3 years. Christ. Time really did fly, yeah. More than I thought, Christ. The 3rd of April, Sunday. Was this in the last stream? I can't remember. Whatever. Reverend Marino. Reverend is like a pope, kinda. If you can think of it like that, if you know what Reverend is. It's like a pope. Or like a priest. We should do like a holy voice for this devout man. And one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled. Warmed, was it? To Lorena's frigid, frostbitten ears, this was a pleasant idea indeed. The maid shifted on the few. The few was like when you sit in the church, like the seats. You kneel forwards normally, and that's what a few is. Her fingers linked together on her lap. The wooden few was icy and seemed to bleed all the heat from her thighs. I'll put the heat back in. Oh, we're in church. Right. Church, boys. Please. Renounce all your sins. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Though they were pressed together. Can we get a downward shot? No. Forgive me, Father. It was a miracle, really. St. Mary's Church was bitterly cold all year round, despite the large amount of human bodies crammed into it. The churches are very big, like roofs, so probably where all it goes over lots of windows, no central heating, especially in this time, obviously. But perhaps the coal pit behind her, the providing chill, was not the weather after all. It was the veritable Vicar, the Reverend Mana. Let's have a sip of water. Yeah, speaking like this, it can get tiring. When he surveyed his congregation, peering at them with intensity of one trying to discern the oxygen within the air, all the heat seemed to evaporate from the room. I don't think that was evaporate, but it's fine. Her eyes were such a stricken pale blue, Lorena was half tempted to believe they contained within them shards of ice. So, normally Reverend's aren't female. Oh, his eyes. I thought it was hers. Because he's a male, obviously. We haven't seen a male in the story yet. Notwithstanding, ye give them these things which are needful to the body. What doth it profit? This is like real old priest English, where they just join all the words together and like cut them off shortly. Yeah. What doth it profit? Indeed, Lorena wasn't entirely sure, but Reverend Manar made this rhetorical question seem the utmost concern. The Reverend paused once more. He was fond of inserting large pauses into his ceremonies, to let his eyes sweep amongst the assembled men and women in their Sunday finest. Because church was always held on Sunday, and you always dolled up yourself for church, which I never really understood, you know, but it's fine. Not that Lorena, being a maid, had any Sunday finest. Her maid outfit supplied the best Leonards, the most sophisticated item of clothing she owns. Bloody hell. They're trying to reach the word count in the PowerPoint document. Jesus. Conspicuously, I know, finest of English here. That was what she was wearing. Lorena knew some of the more esteemed men and women of the St. Mary's parish. Determined her from her choice of wardrobe, but she had little else to choose from. The Reverend again. Even so, faith, if hath not works, the dead being being alone? Is dead being alone? He's asking the big questions now, obviously. By the goodness of the church. The church was really cold. What's cold? Lorena wasn't the only one attending the attending and failing. To seize her squirming. Ada was in a similar predicament. She was shifting her head, and there to encounter the circulation in her legs. Encourage. The maids of Blee sat together during the service. Ada was on one side of Lorena, Pauline on the other, Isabel, Princess, and even Elfie, sorry, I missed that word. Inscrutable, Elfine, made up with the rest of Blee's pretty maids. As might be expected, they were all sitting in a row. Not that Pauline was particularly pretty. She always reminded Lorena of a horse. Damn, this girl was brutal. God damn. She's really a bitch. A man may say, "Thou hadst faith, and I have works." It's the Constance. Lady Leonard and Lady Constance. Is Leonard? Is Lady? Oh, so is that like the mother, Lady Leonard? Is that? Okay. Were also in attendance, though they weren't seated with the maids. Of course they weren't. The maids of Blee were relegated to fuse near the back of the church, while the upper, let's see, echelons of society was sat in the front. Should the policy truly occur, Lorena had no doubts the rich and the beautiful would be unassuredly up to the pearly gates first. The apocalypse. That's just how things seem to work. Did they make it like their mission not to show a man in this whole game? Because this is the Reverend talking right now, but we just have Lorena on the screen. Shew me thy faith without thy works, and I will shew thee my faith by my works. So obviously, show me your faith without your works, which I guess is like works is probably referring to I guess it's referring to how often they go to church and how devout they are to God, is what I guess it means. But there was one servant of Leonard household which was conspicuously absent. Tauhia. Though Blee's other servants All 23 of them, from cook to valet to blet to the coachman, attending the Sunday service religiously. Tao Hua had never once seemed fit to make an entrance. Maybe because she's foreign, she doesn't believe in that stuff, or just doesn't come, I don't know. Irina doubted whether that woman had placed so much as a single toe over the threshold of St. Mary's before. Though she was not particularly distraught over her absence. It made it easier to focus. Whenever Tao Hua was around, Irina's heart started to flutter, her cheeks flushed, and she found herself feeling quite unlike her usual self. The letter resided in her pocket, folded neatly, and placed within the confines of her brown envelope. Was proof enough of that. Okay. God, this man again with his old English. Jeez. Oh, man. Still not reading for long. I still haven't read, like this. Not regularly. I'm sure, like, the more videos I do, I'll get more used to it, but we'll see. Thou believest that there is one God. Thou does not well. The devil also believes and tremble. I don't even know what he's going on about anymore. Irina herself started to tremble because of the cold. That woman was no Christian. One merely had to look at her gorge. Her to gauge that much. Her peculiar skin, her peculiar eyes, her long black hair. There was something decadently unsettling about that woman, even more so than the tone of Reverend Manner's voice. Manners, but for whatever reason, Irina couldn't stop thinking about her. I have hiccups right now, oh my. Great. It's the princess, why does she keep on showing up? I'm still not used to the church services of you English. What was it much different in Adamant? Well, Princess pondered, tapping one finger against her lower lip. It was more or less the same, I suppose, but I'd rather miss hearing stories about Saint Verna. Who is he? Why did you ask? He? Oh my, I see you English are not familiar with Saint Bernard at all. After all. I'm sorry. I haven't heard of them. It doesn't ring a bell. Saint Bernard is a Swiss saint. She used to be a nurse and she devote her life to the supernatural, to the spiritual and physical care of young girls. Apparently, she was also very pretty. Is she dead now? What is this? Princess beamed and clasped her hands together. I too wish to live a pure and devout life as a good Christian, just as my favorite saint. Great. It's like pop idols, but for Christians. You have a favorite saint? Yeah, I got the card. I got my book signed by her too. Oh, great. Surely if one wants to be a great Christian, you shouldn't pick favourites. Oh, I know, Papa said that much the same, but I can't help myself. She is so depictable. In stained glass windows, the church of St. Peter and Paul in my adamant, and yet looks very kind and benevolent. Not much, not to mention her hair. So you like Swiss Saint solely for her looks? God damn. Wait, did she say Pauline was ugly? Remember before? I don't remember if you remember that. And go back if you want to have a look. But I swear that she said that she was ugly. That she looked like a horse, and she is what she said. Oh God, that's brutal. Jesus. I mean, maybe my vision isn't right, but she don't look like a horse to me. Okay. That's awfully shallow. Princess Lottie? I still can't say her name, I'm still call her Princess. It isn't shallow, at least not entirely. There's nothing wrong with liking pretty girls. Her model looks familiar. I swear I've seen that hairstyle somewhere before. Is it that girl from Code Geass? I forget her name. Like the girl with the red hair, whatever her name is. I don't remember her name. It's been a while since I've seen that show. I never actually finished it off, to be honest. Exactly, I support any saint who concerns herself with the welfare of maidens like ourselves. Sadly, I'm a woman, not a maiden. I'm a woman. I'm an independent woman, not a maiden. I think I'm touched. I think I'm a touch too old for your holy Saint Vana. Is it like Vienna? I don't know how to say words like that. Like Swiss words. Saint Vana would not discriminate, I'm sure. Alright. You're sounding like a saint yourself now. Saint Voletti. I think Princess might make a nice saint. She's nice enough, but I doubt she can perform any miracles. None of us can. That's the main girl, by the way. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being a saint. I've always wanted to appear on stained glass windows. Okay. Sissy was the time starring to be a pop idol, obviously, you know, and the J-pop group, you know, BTS, obviously, the brand new female lead. You would look very nice. You think? It'd suit you better than me. Now, pride is a deadly sin, Princess. What, really? I think so. You wouldn't be going to heaven with that attitude. God damn, girl. Brutal. Oh my. I did not wish to cause any offence. The maids of Blee continued in this manner as they walked through the streets of Elisima. Their feet striking against the ground. Lorena's skirt swirled around her ankles. The letter inside her pocket rustled with each step. The letter! Lorena had been so taken in by princess, she'd almost forgotten. Oh, do excuse me, there's something I need to do before I return. Something you need to do? This sounds rather suspicious. She's just got that face on where she just like kind of inquires every single thing you do. She's like, what are your alternative motives? I promise it won't take a minute. If you're late by so much as 30 seconds, you'll be in for the high jump. Don't really know what that's referring to. Mr. Lester runs a very tight ship, you know. If you don't remember who Mr. Lester is, he's like kind of the head butler, and there's like all of his little underlings. I guess you could say that they're their boss, is what I should say. You should know you're the one who always gets in trouble. I'm aware. I'll be as quick as I can. Not that it really concerns us, but the concerns of Pauline's lips formed an unpleasant smirk. The corners. If you're late back, Lorena, we won't cover for you. Damn, what a bitch. I know. And so the gaggle of maids left Lorena behind. Thoughts of Tauhia or Tilly I'm just going to call her Tilly because that's easier for me to say. As Lorena had also cleverly termed her in the letter. Weighted heavily upon the young maid's hand. She had to get a second opinion. It had been impossible to think about anything but the older woman during the service. How much more older is she? They keep on going like, yes, this old woman, how old is she? So consumed by Tauhia, she had been. But still she failed to realize where she was walking and until it was too late. Lorena recalled holding her hand to her cheek. Her jaw hurt. Had she just quite literally walked into somebody? Tauhia? No. That would have been too obvious. Or the music started up and old saggy tits still left over there. My, you should watch where you're going, dear. Or you might cause somebody serious harm. Oh, I'm... Nothing to say? Cat goes your tongue. Well, Lorena flustered and glanced down at the ground. It didn't help the woman she'd walked into was rather pretty. Shit. It's got full Jojo on us. She had brown hair that put Lorena in mind of chestnuts. Her Atiri? Altiri? meanwhile, was much like that of a school teacher. What's the word? Aura or something like that? I guess that's what that means. The blouse is long. The blouse and a long, sensible skirt. She didn't look too dissimilar from Miss Amy? Lady Constance's governess. Neither was she alone. Uh-oh. You know things get... Uh-oh. God. She looks so much like that girl from... Oh, what's the show called? Oh god, what is it called? Like... Oh my god, it was like... Girls... Fuck. I have to come back to that. But the hair is just so similar. I'll describe it. So in this show, a guy transfers to this all-girls school, and there's like these 5 girls who use swords, like a discipline committee of 5 girls with swords. And this one guy shows up, and he only uses his hands and use swords, and he fights with these girls. And one of these girls has like a younger sister with blonde hair that looks exactly like her. It's just like Girls Macavania or Macalavania. It's something like that. I'll find it in a bit. I'll come back. A blonde girl with a disagreeable scowl stood by the woman's side, her hands planted firmly against her hips. Upon closer inspection, Verena realized that she knew these women. She'd never spoken to them before, but she had seen them in passing on more than one occasion. They frequented the Sunday services at St. Mary's too. It was a small world after all. And Elzima was smaller than most. Elzima is probably what I want to quote from that one. What do you mean? I'm not looking up that show that I was just on about a second ago. I'll keep on reading. I promise I will. Keep on reading. What's this? A smirk captured these older women's lips. Are they older though? They look younger than you. Oh, what did I do? That's fine, it's the same text. They served Lorena with understained amusement. Now that I look at you properly, you're rather lovely. Strange women. Lovely? I am? Indeed. I'm quite fond of soft, shy girls. There we go. Oh, please. So this is the girl on the right. On the other side of the screen. You know, the one with the curly locks. Your kind is so very fun to play with, you know. Do give it a rest. The short girl rolled her eyes empathetically, in the manner of one who must have practiced the gesture a good deal before a full-length mirror. Damn, that's brutal. I won't worry about that anime, I'll leave it. But I tell you, she looks exactly like this one girl. It's like... Oh god, that's so annoying. You should restrict your playing solely to the violin. So if I touch the mic, it's like, you know, a headset mic, so I have to adjust it here and there. Do forgive me for stuff like that. The mic quality ain't too good either, but you know, I'm not buying like a 60 plus quid mic, and that's the cheap side, you know. Mics are stupidly expensive. I know, but when faced with a sweet young thing like this, how can I resist? Damn. You're like some dummy mummies. They're gonna blew the shit out of me. You have to do your best. You know what Reverend Mana says? Pits of hellfire and eternal damnation. Yes, I know. Honestly, you need to start leaving pretty girls alone. Boo, that's so boring. The younger girl pulled a face. She's the younger girl? Wait, so you're telling me the little lolly with drill hair is the oldest one out of all of us? I mean, it's anime, so I guess it makes sense, but still. Jesus. Do you even listen when you attend church? Or is your head off of the clouds? I prefer to hum a little batch under my breath while the variable reverend goes on and on. It's true. Oh, I don't know why I'm hiccuping so much. Might be that triple shot espresso I had earlier. Your tummy's been upset for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, a triple shot of espresso? Don't understand why. 4 shots of espresso. That's what I mean. Big sister. You're telling me they're sisters now? Okay. The younger sister shook her head. Her expression was incredulous. You're impossible. Indeed, star. So yes, the star happens when she winks, because you know in anime they wink, like a little thing comes out, and that's normally a star, I guess. Excuse me. I apologise if I was in the way, but I have somewhere I need to be. Alright, I'm sorry. Well, run along then. I trust I'll be seeing you in due course. A mischievous smile. Miss Lorena Wag, I guess. What you'd say. Huh. Already at the next day. Already at the next day, we're about an hour into the stream. If you say like maybe every day is like an hour per se. And normally, when I did one before, it was around about an hour long. So I'm half tempted to end it now. So this is like, you know, next day kind of stuff. I'm half tempted to end it, to be honest with you. I think I might. Oh, so I guess the videos will be structured like we do a day per video, which I guess is around about an hour per video, which I think is long enough, or stream, I guess. This will be uploaded to my YouTube as well if you missed the first episode or want to catch up on, you know, the previous parts of the stream. So, why don't we go... Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. So, let's save the game. We'll save in the same slot, it doesn't matter, we're not going back, are we? Right, there we are, 4th of April. So let's go to the title screen. Alright, well, that seemed very quick to me. I could have continued, but nah. We're not in a rush, are we? I guess that locked function down there will be when we finish the story. I'm not sure what it will be, but yeah. So we're gonna get any achievements in that day though. I can't remember the achievements, I think like 9 or 10? I can't remember. But I looked up on YouTube and there are parts, like, and people go up to like 9 parts, so I think this game's like, say, God knows, maybe 9 or 8 hours long, so we can expect like maybe 8 episodes out of this. Not 100% though. Anyways, thanks for joining me today. Come back tomorrow. I'll try to do another stream tomorrow, depending on how my internet is. You know, it can be a bit dodgy here and there. You can expect another stream tomorrow, and I will post a video right after this stream, or if you're watching the video, hey. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you around next time. Goodbye.